All right, I was talking into the void. My microphone was not turned on. But welcome, guys. Hope everybody's being safe out there, watching lots of movies, playing some games, and if you are at work, I hope you're being as safe as you possibly can. Your presence is, I'm sure, desperately needed, and we all appreciate it. So, welcome, guys. I'm gonna take a quick swig of the old coffee here and try to stay awake. My folks were over all morning, hanging out with me and my daughter. They came over and we took a walk, and me and my dad put up a fan in our bedroom and just hung out all day, and they just left, and my daughter's taking a nap, and I'm drinking some coffee, talking on a microphone. So welcome, guys. Yeah, let's see, what else? Anyway, like I said, hope you guys are being safe, smart, not spreading this goddamn thing, right? Daniel Ambrose, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Finally learning how to play the Hellboy board game. I've had it for months, but no time to learn as I'm new to table RPGs, painting the figures next. Now, you know, that's something I've never gotten into either, Daniel. I've never really gotten into tabletop RPGs or anything like that, especially not the ones that you paint figures and it's more of a, it's almost like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a model kit as well, you know? I don't think I've ever played one that requires you to paint figures. I've certainly never played any tabletop like Star Wars RPGs or whatnot. But that sounds like something that would be pretty fun, Daniel. Now, I don't know if you have any friends or family coming over to play it with you, or if you're just learning how to play it by yourself. But either way, man, enjoy it. The only board game that I've ever played that isn't like Monopoly or whatever, like Mousetrap, right? Those kind of everybody's played those games. The only game that I've ever played a lot of is called Talisman. I played D&D a few times, but Talisman is the only game that I've really played quite a bit when I was a kid. But I don't really have any friends that live close by anymore now that I moved that play tabletop stuff. So, in fact, I don't really know anybody that lives out as far as me and my wife do now. We moved quite a bit outside of Jacksonville, just to be able to afford a house that could sustain a family. And our old house was in the city. How did we go from talking about board games to where I live now? That's the HelloGreedo brain, man. But yeah, welcome everybody. Daniel, I appreciate that this evening. Gooner, Super Michael 98, Grant Guthrie, and the what's up, Bombadcast? Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody, the Bombadcast, find them on your favorite podcasting app or wherever you listen to podcasts. I was actually a guest on their show. We recorded it a couple days ago. And it just went live this morning. So it was a fun chat. We specifically, the topic of conversation was the special editions. So, you know my opinion on all that. But if you want something new, some new fresh conversations about the special editions, tune in to the Bombadcast. And it was a good combo. But anyway, I appreciate that, guys. Good to see you, man. And Gooner Chiefs fan 123, thank you so much as well. Watching season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. Also, you should really check out Disney Pixar's Brave and rewatch Star Trek First Contact during quarantine. I watched First Contact not too long ago. By that I mean Gooner probably 4 or 5 years ago, which is not that long ago in my brain. It's one of my favorite Star Trek movies. Yeah, definitely. I've never seen Brave. I believe I know a few songs from it. Or no, maybe I'm thinking of Tangled. I don't know. I haven't seen either of those movies, but there's like certain movies that I've never seen that I know the music from now. Now that I'm a dad, now that I tell Alexa to play Disney songs, I've never seen Moana, but I know all the damn songs. I've never seen Tangled. I know a bunch of the songs. So I'm sure eventually, once my daughter is old enough to kind of sit there and be occupied and actually watch a movie with us. Right now, she watches maybe 10 minutes and then goes and runs around the house, which is fine. But her attention span is not yet sitting down to watch an hour and a half flick. But yeah, man. Anyway, I've only seen season 1 of Rebels, Schooner. I've only seen season 1, so season 2 is on the horizon for me. After season 7 of Clone Wars after I'm done with that, my plan is to watch the 2003 animated Clone Wars mini series or whatever it was, and then jump into Rebels. So, anyway, Gooner, I appreciate that, man. And Super Michael 98, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Let me take a quick sip of the old coffee. Super Michael 98, thank you so much once again. Michael says, I've been watching Martin Scorsese films recently, my favorite being Casino. What's your favorite? My favorite is, God, let me look them up. Michael Score, because I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of them that I have a horrible memory, man, so I have to look things up often. Goodfellas, definitely seen it. Taxi Driver, definitely seen it. The Irishman, The Departed. I haven't seen The Irishman, Departed, yes. Wolf of Wall Street, Raging Bull, Casino, Mean Streets, Shutter Island. He did Shutter Island? He didn't direct that, did he? He did. Interesting. I didn't know that. Gangs of New York. Hugo. Yeah, there's a lot of, there's like dashes of things that Scorsese has directed or been a part of that you just don't think of when you think of him, right? The Aviator was great. I forgot about that movie. Oh, that might be one of my favorites of his. Wolf of Wall Street's hard to beat as well. I mean, Goodfellas is just kind of classic, right? I don't know if I could pick a favorite. Oh man. The Aviator might actually be pretty high up there on my list of his movies, just because I don't know. I felt like there was more to it than what people mostly think of when they think of Scorsese. I haven't seen Gangs of New York since I saw that in the theater. Wow. What year did that come out? 2002. Wow. I haven't seen that in 18 years. I remember seeing it in the theater. That's crazy. I would have been 17. Depends on the day. Let's see. So yeah, I would have been 17. Or no, I would have been 18. I would have been 18. Interesting. But so yeah, I really don't know. Maybe The Aviator. It's really tough to say. Watch Irishman. Irishman. It's like 3.5 hours long. Golly, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I got that in me nowadays. But yeah, man. Anyway, I appreciate that. Let's see. I appreciate that, Michael. Let's see. Grant Guthrie, The Bombad Cast, Caleb Kemp, Gooner Chiefs, Grant Guthrie once again, and Tony Mario Golden II, and Z Money. Thank you guys for the support. I am a little slow on the draw today, just because I'm long-winded dude, but I appreciate the support, and I will absolutely get to you. I appreciate that patience. So let's see who is next. Grant Guthrie, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Grant says, with everyone socially distancing now, would be a great time to try one of those Star Wars tabletop RPGs online. Oh, that's a good idea. I started a few new Pathfinder games to pass the time as everything else has stopped. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Just that goes for everybody. If anybody actually wants to join Grant, I'm sure a lot of people would actually join you, Grant. Post in the chat and tag Grant Guthrie, and I'm sure you guys could get some games started. I would love to be. I don't know how, man, but I almost have less time now that the entire like social distancing and whatnot is going on. I find that I almost have less time. I can't take my daughter anywhere. I mean, I don't take my daughter anywhere. I just don't want us to be a vector for some like older folks. I don't want to be the cause of people getting sick. So we're basically staying at home, going to the park, walking around, and I can't take her to the normal giant parks or the zoo or the things that we used to do all the time that would often wear her out and make her take like 3.5 hour naps. Now she's taking like 30-minute to an hour naps, just because I don't know. It's weird, but I wish I had time to do that. All I've basically been doing is my same exact routine. My wife works in, without getting specific, she works in a medical field. And so she hasn't skipped a beat. And basically I work from home. I do, Greedo stuff, and I do, like freelance stuff. The freelance stuff has definitely kind of settled down over the past couple weeks since all of this has been going on, which is understandable. I kind of, I think a lot of the clients that I had aren't really working right now. So I haven't really skipped much of a beat yet, but yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Grant. And Bombadcast, good to see you guys. Once again, I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but Bombad, so if you guys want to listen to a podcast while you're doing your thing over the next few weeks or months or years or wherever the hell this is all going, check out the Bombadcast. It's a podcast. You can find it wherever. And I was a guest on it, and they just uploaded the episode today, and we talk about the special editions. So actually go to this channel's community section. I posted a link to I posted a link to where you can listen to that podcast on the community section. Yeah, go check it out and give it a listen. But I appreciate that, Bombadcast. And Caleb Kemp, I was watching my latest review from Battlefront. Now I'm watching this. Is this a shameless self-plug? Possibly. Also, hello there. General Kenobi, good to see you, Caleb. I appreciate that this afternoon, rather. So, is it? Who cares if it's a shameless plug, right? Yeah. Caleb Kemp is working on some Battlefront videos where he kind of was. I don't want to. Well, it's not a spoiler, but he kind of reviews the game internally from the perspective of the troops, of the character, of the reinforcements, of the heroes and the villains. It's a cool idea, and I dig it. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, Caleb, and hope you're having a good one. All right, let's see. And Gunnar, Chiefs fan, also, we finally get live action Ahsoka. Gunnar, I actually saw that right before I started this stream. Is that an official announcement, or were people just kind of putting that on their wish list? It is the #1 trending thing right now. Yeah, I saw that Rosario Dawson was being, or rumored to be cast. Slash Film is reporting on it in Variety. Okay, so weird. That's crazy. If that, I'm assuming it's true. This isn't some bullshit YouTuber nonsense rumor. I mean, if Variety's reporting on it, that's pretty huge, right? That's really interesting. I don't know, honestly, how I feel about... I mean, I think the casting works. I've actually heard Rosario Dawson's name thrown around as one of the people that, people would like to see cast as Ahsoka. And everybody wants, Ashley Eckstein to play. Whatever. I have no idea. I don't know. Rosario Dawson seems like a good fit. So if that's true, cool. But a part of me is like, I really want The Mandalorian to just be its own self-contained, isolated thing, void of characters that we're already familiar with, right? That's what the charm was to me of The Mandalorian. It was just a self-contained show where, it didn't rely on other material. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Gunnar. We'll see where it goes. Hollywood Reporter's reporting on it too. So yeah, seems like it's going to be a real thing. Maybe I'll make a video about it. We shall see. But yeah, I appreciate that, Gunnar. Grant Guthrie, Tony, Z Money, French Canadian Wolfman, and Swish Fish. Thank you, guys. Grant Guthrie was next up. Also, if you want a really goofy Star Wars fan show, try A Clone Apart. It's very old filmed on... Wait, it's... very old film in Battlefront 2 and was never finished. I think recently, within the past month or so, somebody has recommended that to me. And when I looked it up, it's kind of like what? Like red versus blue kind of thing, right? I didn't actually watch it, but all right. Episode 1 is 20 minutes. Let's see. Alpha Nova. 1.6 million views. Wow. So, all right. I'm sure I'm the only person here that doesn't really know about this, but it's a cool idea. I love that kind of stuff. You know, creating movies and little shows and skits and whatnot in video games. I don't know. It's just kind of a really neat way to utilize the engine and get creative with it. You know, I dig it. But anyway, I appreciate that, Grant. And Tony Mario Golden II, thank you so much as well, man. Tony says, do you have a day job besides YouTube? So I used to do more. Nowadays, basically I do YouTube. I don't want to get into specifics, but I do freelance kind of videography and photography and stuff like that. I usually do that a couple times a month. And then I take care of my daughter all day. So yeah, I do 3 things. YouTube, freelance, and watch my daughter all day. And whenever I have a freelance project come up, like I said, it's usually once or twice a month. My daughter usually stays with my parents for the day, and I get that done. So, but yeah, I like doing a lot of different things. You know, for the past, I would say 5 years, that's kind of been my life. Minus having my daughter was born 2 years ago, so before my daughter was born, I picked up a lot more freelance gigs and whatnot. Since she's been born, I've been kind of pushing that away a little bit, and just to make some more time, you know. But anyway, I appreciate that, Tony. Let's see. Z Money, thank you so much. Z Money 17. Z Money says, going to show my girlfriend Star Wars her first time. Nice. Well, I'm curious how you're starting it. For me, introducing somebody to the franchise, I've kind of always been adamant about release order, just to see the movies the way the world saw them. You know what I mean? Yeah, to me, to me, in my brain, and I'm not saying it's right, in my brain, it just seems like the way that I would want to be shown for the first time, if that makes sense, you know. I've said that the original trilogy is kind of, you know, sets things up, and then the prequel trilogy is kind of an answer to a lot of the questions that maybe the original trilogy posed, and so I don't know, I'm just curious. But yeah, man, let us know what she thinks. I appreciate that, Z Money. And Mr. Wolfman, good to see ya. The French-Canadian Wolfman says, finished your book yesterday. Really fun. Always been soft over pregnancy-related stuff, and I cried during the chapter about your wife giving birth. Nice. Well, I appreciate you picking it up. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that chapter was definitely one of the more personal chapters I've ever written, or ever talked about, ever. Opened myself up a little bit, even more so on paper than I do with my family and friends, as we often do, right? So I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I had a lot of fun writing it. If anybody's looking for some bullshit to do or read while you're bored for the next whatever amount of time that we're all going to be kind of laying low, I have a book. I actually looked at reducing the price of it. The minimum price that I can reduce it to is $9. I thought I could get it down to like $4 and not take a profit. Amazon will not let me do that, which sucks, but I might end up reducing it to $9. I don't even know how to do that, actually. I'm pretty sure I can. But anyway, I appreciate that, Wolfman. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, drop a little review on the old Amazon. Or don't. You don't have to take the time to do that. I mean, really. You don't. But I appreciate that, man. And Swishfish, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Hey, sorry I was a jerk yesterday. Here's a Canuck fiver to make up for it. Stay safe. What do you mean? Swish, you were a jerk yesterday. What do you mean? I don't remember you being a jerk. Why do you say that? I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. What did you say? I don't remember you being a jerk, Swish. About the staying home or something like that. Is that what you're talking about? But no worries, man. You weren't a jerk. If I don't remember somebody being a jerk, then you weren't a jerk. Don't let it. Don't dwell on it. I don't remember that, Swish. I don't remember you being a jerk, and I remember when people are being jerks. So you're good, man. No worries. But I appreciate the Canuck Fiver there and the channel support this afternoon, and I hope you're staying safe. Playing some games, laying low. Start a project. Get in shape. Go for a jog. Read a book, write a book, start drawing. I don't know. Launch a balloon into the atmosphere. Take video of it. I don't know. Something. But I appreciate that, Swish. And Florian J, thank you so much for the super chat. Channel support as well. I just ordered a Black Series Stormtrooper helmet before I watched your videos. I didn't even know I wanted one. Thank you. Greetings from Germany. Nice, man. I don't think I've ever actually seen Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. I don't know if I've seen one of those. All right. Oh, that looks pretty sharp for right out of the box. Definitely looks better than the old EFX that I used to have. So, nice, man. I'm assuming that you're going to pop it up, put it up on a shelf, maybe? Yeah, so there's a lot of really cheap and wonky Stormtrooper helmets out there, over the years. And most of them are kind of the ones that you would just buy out of a box like this. But this actually looks pretty sharp for being directly out of the box. It's hard to explain. Just watch my HelloGreedo Stormtrooper armor video. I think just Google like HelloGreedo Stormtrooper armor and you'll see exactly what I have. But nice, man. Yeah, put it on a shelf. Put it up on that shelf. Enjoy it. Yeah. Stormtrooper armor's fun. It's fun. I need to get I need to wear my armor. I haven't worn my armor in... God, I don't know. I don't think I've put it on since my daughter was born. So I think it's been a little over 2 years. I could be wrong about that. I feel like I put it on for a couple pictures. But yeah, man. Anyway, enjoy it, Florian. And hope you're having a good one, man. And Super Michael 98, after 22 years of my life, I finally began watching Star Trek The Next Generation. Nice. So it's hilarious. I watched an episode last night, Michael, because was it last night? I think it was. I actually kind of felt kind of icky last night, man. And that's the whole reason. I don't know if I said I was going to stream last night, but I kind of was like, I don't feel too good. I had a little bit of a sore throat and I was kind of bleh. And I just kind of felt like laying low. I wasn't worried about like the virus or anything like that. I didn't have a cough. I just kind of, maybe it was allergies. I don't know. But, I feel completely fine, 100% today, so I don't think it was anything. But yeah, that's the reason I didn't stream last night. I sat on the couch and watched an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation while my wife rocked my daughter to sleep. And my wife came down, and there was like 8 minutes or so left in the episode, and she was like, every time I come down and you're watching Star Trek, it just looks stupid. And I was like, yeah, every time you come down, it is kind of on a stupid part. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. I can't really explain why Data is wearing a cowboy hat and a vest right now. If you watch the entire show, you would get it. But yeah, I can see how if you walk downstairs and you saw Data in a cowboy hat, you would go like, what is this idiot watching? I kind of get it. But dude, I love it. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's smart and fun and sometimes soap opera-y, but every episode I feel like I personally get something out of it. Even if they are a little bit of a dud from time to time. But even the duds, I get something out of. But anyway, I appreciate that, Michael. Enjoy it. You'll have to let us know what you think. I hope you like it. And Grant Guthrie, thank you so much as well. Did a 10K the other day. Nice to get away from... Oh, did a 10K the other day to get away from the locked away stress. Getting in shape and running is great medicine. I agree. For this, we'll try and hit 10 miles. Nice, man. The max I've ever ran is 9 at one time. So that's definitely a feat. What is 10K? Is that like 7 miles? Let's see. 10K in miles. So 6.2. Nice. I've done, what is the Gate River run? Gate River run length. Not to make this about me and my running, stupid ass. 15K 2 miles. So it's a 15K. So 9. Okay, so, oh wow. I didn't realize it was 9. So it's 9.3. I've done a 15K before. That's the longest I've ever ran. But the longest I've ever ran not in a race was in A school after boot camp. We would run 9 miles once a week. But yeah, I completely agree. You know, getting outside, I'm not like in a crowd or anything, but taking a walk or going for a jog, you can get out of your house. You can, you know, social distancing is, it's doable while still getting some, vitamins from the sun, right? You're okay. So yeah, that goes for everybody. You know, I take my daughter on walks every single morning. We usually go about 3 miles. We go to the park and walk back, which is about 3 miles total. And it's a good way to just kind of like, I see it as a good way to just kind of clear my head and you know, walk off some shitty food if I ate some shitty food. If I didn't walk that much every single day, you know, the biggest I've ever been in my entire life was I was 250 pounds. That was in 2008. I'm 6'2". I was a pretty big guy at that time. Now I'm down to about 200. I'm happy with where I'm at. And I attribute it all to these long ass walks that I do, you know, with my daughter. And she enjoys them too, because she munches on some Cheerios and we get to play at the park for a little bit. But anyway, keep it up, man. It's good. It's good for you. But I appreciate that, Grant. Buy a Nalgene. Stay hydrated. Sergio, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I've been playing the new Animal Crossing. Amazing game. I don't know anything. I saw a bunch of people talking about that the other day on Twitter. Let's see. I don't really know much of anything. Is the new one called New Horizons? Is that what it is? March 20th. So, it comes out tomorrow? Oh, today. Oh, came out today. So, yeah, I honestly don't know anything about that world. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a life simulation video game developed and published by Nintendo, the 5th main series title in the Animal Crossing series. So, what is it, like a Sims kind of thing? Or like a Second Life kind of... Is it multiplayer? I'm looking this up. I don't... I mean... all right, I'm looking this up. Let's see. Gameplay. Real time, the player assumes the role of a customizable character who moves to a deserted island after purchasing a vacation package from Tom Nook. The game proceeds in an open-ended fashion as the player explores the island and develops it into a community of anthropomorphic animals. Oh, interesting. That actually kind of sounds fun. Huh. Yeah, I've never played these. You know, I've just heard... I've only heard the name. I don't think I've ever seen any gameplay. But that seems like a pretty fun, kind of low-key game. Do you build stuff? It looks like you build stuff. So you build a settlement. It's kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, man. I don't have a Switch. Did it just come out for the Switch? Yeah, for the Switch. I have a Wii U. Haven't hooked that up in a year and a half or so. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. When it comes to video games, the only things that I've really been playing are like Far Cry 5. I bought that just to play co-op with my buddy. Really been enjoying it. It's a good game to play together and just laugh at all the goofy shit you can do. And other than that, I haven't really played too much. I played a couple hours of Red Dead over the past week, here and there. Other than that, you know, just it's kind of weird, man. Like, and I'm sure if anybody out there is listening that's a dad or a parent, I love playing video games, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, sometimes video games almost feel like I don't even want to utilize my brain for that. Yeah, they're fun, but I'm so tired that it almost seems like running around in Red Dead Redemption is like work. You know what I mean? So I just want to tune out, and I just sit on the couch and watch some Next Generation or something like that, you know? But I really, really, really want to beat Red Dead. I think my game says like I'm 45 or 40 something % done with the story. I've had it since it came out, and I've just been slowly playing it. I'll go like months and months and months and months and months not playing it. Like I went 8 months not playing it, right? And I finally popped it in a couple days ago, and I'm kind of gearing up, and I'm getting antsy. I want to play it more, you know. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. Mr. Wolfman, once again, twofold here. I always wanted to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation for Patrick Stewart. Talking about PS, I rewatched the 1998 Moby Dick TV movie starring Patrick Stewart yesterday. Fun. Any fighting games you love? I love Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat. So, I've never seen the Moby Dick Patrick Stewart TV movie. Let me see, Matt. What is that? Just called Moby Dick? It is. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that. Came out in 1998. Interesting. Who else is in it? I recognize a couple faces, but I don't. Henry Thomas. Where would I know him from? Why do I recognize him? Oh, E.T. Duh. That's where I recognize that dude from. Oh, nice. Elliot. All right. I'm sure he gets that all the time. So yeah, I've never seen that. You know, yeah. So Patrick Stewart, I don't know, man. He just embodies Picard. So he embodies the perfect captain, does he not? Yeah. It's kind of funny how people. It's got to be so weird to play a role that everybody in the world knows you for, right? I mean, and then you got somebody like Harrison Ford. Everybody knows him for a couple roles, multiple roles, right? Specifically, for specific characters, rather. But yeah, Patrick Stewart, Picard. And do I love any fighting games, Wolfman? You know, I really haven't been into fighting games for a very long time, but when I was a kid, I played a lot of, which one did I play the most of? There was a game called Killer Instinct. I don't know if they make those. Let me see. Let me look that up. Killer Instinct. PS4. Wait, what? They released one in 2013. I did not know that. I played a ton. Okay, so the original Killer Instinct came out in 94. I would have been 8 years old. So, yeah, I remember playing the hell out of some Killer Instinct back in the day. And some of the first and second Mortal Kombat. And those three were probably the ones that I played more than any other. I never really played much Street Fighter. I think the reason was because I never had a Sega system. I never had like a Sega Genesis. I really only had Nintendo stuff growing up. And I don't believe Street Fighter was on the Nintendo. SNES. Was it on the SNES? Oh, it was. Okay. It was? Oh, I don't remember that. Was it? I see arcade. Was it? Yeah, I mean, okay. It looks like Street Fighter SNES. Oh, wow. It was. Oh, Street Fighter 2 was on the SNES. Maybe I just never had it. Oh, weird. Okay. So, yeah, I didn't really play much Street Fighter back in the day. Apparently, it was for the Super Nintendo, but I always thought it wasn't. Interesting. That's weird. Kind of, that's when you think something your entire life and then you look it up and it takes 3 seconds for you to completely, your world to be turned around. Interesting. So, yeah, so original Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 probably and Killer Instinct are the fighting games that I played the most of. And I haven't really played one in a very, very, very long time, man. They're the types of games that, you know, maybe if I had some friends come over quite a bit and they would be fun to play and hang out and just shoot the shit playing. But yeah, I haven't really been very into fighting games. But yeah, I appreciate that, Wolfman. And Chris, good to see you, man. Chris Tears, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, my man. Hope everything's going well for you. Ooh, one sec, let me minimize that. Okay. So Chris says, in quarantine, came in contact with the virus. Oof. Yeah, I saw that a few people associated with NAS Jax tested positive. Oh, my daughter's waking up from a nap. That's actually a good thing. It's getting kind of late. But yeah, I saw a few people associated with NAS Jax tested positive. I saw a few sailors from Mayport. These are two bases around me in Jacksonville. Tested positive as well. So, you know, it's kind of crazy. You know, every day there's thousands of new cases in the United States. And I think, you know, this is me. I would be willing to bet because, you know, not everybody's getting tested. It's not a necessity that everybody gets tested if you have symptoms, duh. But if we all kind of self-quarantine and social isolation, you know, we can, as they say, you know. Oh, sorry. My daughter's kicking. All right. I'm going to have to go get her in a couple minutes. But, yeah, so, anyway, what was I saying? I would be willing to bet that, you know, if the official numbers are 14,000 confirmed cases in the United States, the cases would be way higher than that. You know, we could be looking at a couple 100,000. I mean, realistically. You think of just walking by or the amount of people that come in contact with one another, how quickly this thing spreads. That the official figure is, there's no question, it is way lower, you know, than what the reality of the situation is. But yeah, man, might as well lay low. That's the biggest thing, Chris. Well, I'm not going to get sick. Well, yeah, dummy, it's not about you. Yeah, you're like a 25-year-old guy. Of course you're going to be okay. Christ, it's about the blue hairs. It's about your grandma and grandpa. It's about those with health problems. It's about not pouring gasoline on the medical system and watching it burn like a flash in a pan because everybody's going in at one time. That's what it's all about. So you're doing the smart thing, Chris. I'm not going to get sick. Okay, Jesus, people. Come on. I feel like people my PD video, right? It's a perfect example. The people who know the least about a situation, the people who do pay the least amount of attention to a situation, think they know the most. It's like a trick of confidence in a way. It's weird, but how do we get down that rabbit hole? But I appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, stay safe. Just play some video games, right? And Mr. Wolfman, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Final super chat and channel support before I jet and go get my daughter from her slumber. Mr. Wolfman says, could relate to your book. Also have an unfinished book, which I haven't touched for a year. And the last game I finished was Alien Isolation. # Alien for Life. There you go, man. So, yeah, what a good time to kind of fire up the old computer and the Word document, right? And start writing again. Maybe an old project that you haven't touched in a while. So, yeah, do it. Do it to it. Might as well. At least write a few pages and see how you feel. Maybe you get a little spark of inspiration and want to continue, right? But yeah, Wolfman, I appreciate the hell out of that. And I'm glad you could relate to a little bit of the book. Alien Isolation was a lot of fun, man. Normally, when it comes to games like that, I suck through and through. At stealth games. I rarely like stealth games. Most of the time, I suck so bad at stealth games. I'll just say that. I'm horrible at it. I don't have the patience. But Alien Isolation was, you know, obviously it's in a world that I like the movies that it takes place in. So that's a big plus. And also it wasn't just stealthy like, I don't know, like Metal Gear stealthy, or where you have to sneak around some bad guys who have a radar and whatever. and you're some secret agent. It wasn't like that. It was stealthy, atmospheric, and horrific, right? And it was fun. So I loved it. I would love to play it again. I maybe that's something that I could stream. Maybe that would be fun. But anyway, I appreciate that, Wolfman. Thank you for the support this afternoon. I greatly appreciate that. So it is time to go get my daughter from her nap. I don't know if I'll be streaming tonight. I might just do another 30-minute. Oh, this turned into 45 minutes. I didn't even realize that. I might just do another 30-minute stream tonight and just hang out for a little bit. Honestly, thought I wouldn't get it. I really only go into work, but you know how some Navy people live. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Chris. Like, you know, just walking into a Walgreens or a grocery store just to pick up some meat or some diapers or whatever, the amount of people you come in contact with, as in their presence, right? As in their biological fingerprint, is so high that just because you are laying low and occasionally maybe you got to go into the store, maybe you got to go into a public restroom, maybe, you know what I mean, something like that, it doesn't mean that you aren't technically coming in. I mean, we can prevent it as much as we want, but just being in a building or something like that, just walking by somebody, you know, easy to pick these things up for sure. So anyway, sucks. Lay low. You never know. But all right, guys, thanks to everybody for tuning in, to everybody who supported the channel through super chats. I appreciate the hell out of it. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if I will be doing a stream tonight. If I do, it'll probably be just 30 minutes, and I'm probably just going to do the same exact format, hanging out in the living room. Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing this weekend. Probably going to be laying low. I might do a stream or two. Gonna try to get a couple videos out tomorrow, or a video scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday. I recorded audio for Clone Wars, the Clone Wars episode that aired today. That's ready to go. I just need to shoot the video and edit it all together, which might take a couple hours, and I'll try to get it out tomorrow if I can. I will try to get a video up as well about the Ahsoka news. So, yeah. Cool, everybody. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay inside. It's not about you being sick. It's about those that are healthy and equipped to fight this the best, not getting infected so they spread it to others, right? It's kind of interesting. If we all stayed home, this goddamn thing could be eradicated. I mean, that's a factual statement, but it's a complete hypothetical because it relies on so many other people doing the best they can to do the right thing. So anyway, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me this afternoon. Until I see you next time, stay safe, be smart, wash those hands, play some video games, watch some movies, hang out. All right, guys? Cool. Awesome. All right. See ya.